Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today. It's an exciting day in Trinity College athletics. But before we get to the purpose of today's event, I want to take a moment to highlight a very busy and exciting weekend for Trinity athletics. Our baseball team is on the road, even as we speak, heading out to Baptist University of Florida for a weekend series. And that's an important conference matchup, so you'll be able to watch them tonight and tomorrow on the TBC Eagles YouTube channel. Meanwhile, our softball team is here on campus competing right now as we speak, right across the parking lot. And then tomorrow they will celebrate Senior Day with a doubleheader beginning at 1 p.m. So if you're looking for a great way to celebrate our seniors and spend a Saturday afternoon, we'd love to have you come out, support our young ladies as we honor their contributions to Trinity athletics. And Ray, do we have a score update on softball?
We're ahead 3-0 in the fifth inning.
3-0 in the fifth inning. So that's a great performance so far. Let's hope that our ladies will finish that out, and that'll be a great conference victory for TCJ Eagles. One of the joys of serving at a small Christian college is that on any given day you might find yourself talking about baseball, softball, admissions, chapel, all kinds of different topics, sometimes all in the same conversation. And today is no exception to that. With that, let me welcome you to Trinity College of Jacksonville as we gather to introduce the next leader of our men's soccer program. Whenever we undertake a coaching search at Trinity, we try to approach it thoughtfully and prayerfully. Our goal is never simply to hire a coach who can win games, although competitive excellence certainly matters and is important. Most importantly, though, we seek leaders who embrace our mission. Men and women who understand that athletics here is a platform to develop student athletes spiritually, academically, character-wise, and athletically. Over the past several weeks, we've conducted a comprehensive search that generated strong interest from a number of highly qualified candidates. The process included multiple rounds of interviews, careful evaluation of coaching philosophy, recruiting approach, leadership style, and most importantly, alignment with the mission and values of Trinity College of Jacksonville. We also had opportunities for the coaching candidates that we invited to the interview round to meet with the team. We promised the team when the position opened that they would be very much involved in the process, and many of our team members are here today at this important announcement. We thank you guys for coming out and supporting our new head coach. So as I mentioned, over the past several weeks, we've had several people involved in this process. It was guided by an outstanding search committee, and I want to take a moment to recognize those who gave their time and insight to this effort. First, Judy Allen is our senior women administrator. She's present with us today. Matthew Hebner is our vice president of enrollment, also participated in the interview process. Michael Hebner, who is seated here with us, the co-chair of the committee. He's the director of admissions. He and I worked very closely from the very beginning of this process. Michael was involved very intently, especially with the team meetings, and particularly as we're announcing the changes and how the process was going to unfold. Dr. Philip Dugas is our assistant athletic director and faculty athletics representative, was very involved in the process as well, interviewing, meeting each candidate at lunchtime, for a lunch interview and an opportunity to just talk academics as well as athletics and the academic integrity of our athletic program. And then Jordan Broughton is our admissions athletic liaison, and he's also an assistant baseball coach. He does a great job as a recruiter, and so he was instrumental in the process as well in terms of evaluating our candidates. I would also like to recognize someone who served our committee from afar, our founding head soccer coach, Bill Brindley. Coach Brindley helped evaluate candidates from both a soccer and program building perspective, and his expertise and wisdom were invaluable throughout the search. So I'm grateful to him taking the time to call and speak with each candidate extensively about the opportunity here at Trinity. I'm also grateful for the work of our sports information director, Ray Bureau, who's present with us, who helps make events like this possible and always faithfully tells the story of Trinity athletics. We're grateful also for the support of our college leadership. I would like to especially recognize President Mac Hebner, and also Vice President of Academics, Dr. Adam Christmas, who's here with us today. We appreciate the support of all of our college administrators in helping make Trinity athletics possible. Before we introduce our next head coach, I'm going to take a moment to read the official press release announcing his hiring so everyone can hear the details of the appointment. Copies of this press release are on the table here. If you did not get it on your way in, feel free to grab one on the way out the door, and then it will go live on the website really pretty much as we speak. Ray's going to punch that button, and you'll be able to track it on the website a little bit later as well. Trinity College of Jacksonville Athletics has announced the hiring of Andrew Smith as the new head coach of the Eagles men's soccer program. The announcement was made this week by Athletic Director John D. Jones, who formally welcomed Smith to the Eagle family at a press conference on Friday afternoon. Smith replaces Coach Noam Romianon, who resigned last month after 3 successful seasons leading the Trinity men's soccer program. Coach Romianon is deeply loved within the Trinity community, and his presence on the Eagles sideline will be missed. The program experienced meaningful growth during his tenure, and the college expresses its sincere gratitude for his leadership and service. Smith brings extensive experience as both a player and a coach across the Jacksonville soccer community and beyond. Most recently, he has served with Sporting Jacks Soccer Academy, part of Jacksonville's newest professional soccer initiative, while also contributing to the development of players throughout Northeast Florida. Smith began coaching at just 17 years of age and has spent more than 2 decades developing athletes at multiple levels. His coaching experience includes stops at Lakeside Christian High School in Clearwater, Florida, Amelia Island Soccer Club, Swiss Point Middle School, Florida Elite Soccer Academy, and the University Christian High School here in Jacksonville. He currently serves with both University Christian and Sporting Jacks Soccer, where he has been involved in player development, technical training, and recruitment. In addition to his coaching roles, Smith has served in leadership capacities such as soccer coaching director at Swiss Point Middle School, director of coaching with Sporting Jacks, and organizer of regional soccer camps and technical training programs. He has also specialized in player recruitment and placement, helping student athletes pursue opportunities at the next level. Smith is a graduate of Clearwater Christian College. Clearwater Christian was a former NCCAA member institution, and we used to compete against them regularly. A great school. One of the things I loved about Clearwater, when I first got here to Trinity and competed against them in those early years, when you went to their website, front and center on the website, it said, "Every athlete a disciple." And I always loved that. Vicki Denny was the athletic director there, who's a close friend of mine, and Coach Judy. We love Vicki. We'll see her tomorrow, actually, when we go to the NCCA Pro-Am Clinic tomorrow morning. Some of our student athletes will be participating in that in Palm Coast, Florida. And Vicki will be there working with our volleyball coach, Coach Carlin, in leading the volleyball segment of that. But Vicki is a Hall of Fame coach and just a great leader. And we first developed our relationship during her time as athletic director at Clearwater Christian. So it's a fine institution and just a tremendous reputation. So we know that just anyone that comes out of that program is somebody that we want to be a part of. Smith played his college days there. He was a left winger during the 1999-2000 and 2000 seasons. Known for his speed and ability to score in the open space, he lettered in soccer before dedicating the final years of his college career to preparing for ministry and coaching. Smith credits a formative experience training and competing with under 21, or U21 as they like to say in the soccer world, professional soccer academies in Brazil as a turning point in his life and career. That experience led him to pursue coaching as a way to combine soccer with the calling to serve others through ministry. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated a consistent track record of success, both as a player and a coach. In high school, he was an all-conference performer at John Marshall High School in West Virginia. He served as team captain. More recently, he was named the Coach of the Year at Florida Elite Soccer Academy in 2022 and 2023, and he led the University of Christian Boys Soccer program through a remarkable turnaround. Under Coach Smith's leadership, University Christian advanced from one of Florida's struggling programs to one of the state's most competitive teams. The program captured its first district championship, won its first 2 regional playoff games, and reached its first regional final in school history during the 2026 season. The team also recorded the school's first ever top 10 finish in the state while setting new program records for goals and shutouts. Smith expressed enthusiasm about joining the Trinity community and using soccer as a platform for both competition and spiritual formation. He said it's an opportunity to use soccer as a platform to teach young athletes how to glorify God through the game. I believe Trinity also has the ability to win another national championship. Jacksonville has tremendous local talent, and I look forward to recruiting players who can build on the strong foundation already in place. He plans to emphasize a disciplined, high-energy style of play built on conditioning, teamwork, and attacking soccer. And I'll let him address, when he gets up to speak, some of these other quotes that are listed there in the press release. But I just want to express my own quote that I listed in the article there. I said, at Trinity College, our goal is not simply to build competitive teams, but to shape young people who love Christ and live for His glory. Throughout our conversations with Coach Smith, it became clear that he views soccer as a platform for discipleship. His heart for mentoring players, building Christ-centered culture, and pursuing excellence in competition aligns perfectly with who we are as an institution. We are grateful to welcome a coach who understands that our ultimate mission is to develop champions for Christ. Smith and his wife, Corey, is here. I want to welcome you, Corey. Have been married for 22 years. And they are the proud parents of 5 children. Okay? A quiverful, I think the Bible calls that. Okay? Tracy is 20. She's a student at, what school is she at again? Reformation Bible College here in Florida. And Jackson is 17. Jackson has signed an offer of intent, a letter of intent, to play soccer. Where? Trinity College of Jacksonville. He's coming here. So he's an Eagle. He actually did that before his dad was hired. He was recruited by Coach Romianon, and we're happy that he has continued to honor that commitment, even though his dad will now be coaching the team. Preston is 14. Where's Preston? Right here. Okay, Preston, glad you're here. Cotton, 12, right? Okay, all the way down. And then Calvin is age 9. Okay, so glad you guys are all here. The Smith family resides here in the Jacksonville area, and they look forward to becoming an active part of the Trinity College of Jacksonville community. Ladies and gentlemen, present here today, thank you for honoring us with your presence. And please join me in giving a warm Trinity College of Jacksonville welcome to our new head coach, Andrew Smith.
Yeah, you want. Well, obviously, I want to thank God, most of all, just for His providence and creating this opportunity to stand here before you today. The Bible says that every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights. And I view this day as a day of God's kind providence in my journey, not only as a soccer player, but now also as a college soccer coach. So I want to give Him the utmost glory and praise. Through all the years that I've spent coaching, all the different stops that I've had, I had the thought this morning that I think that all of those experiences and all of those years were preparing me for this very day and for this very job. So I take this extremely important. I think that my responsibility in reaching into the hearts of these young men, some of whom are present today, is extremely important. I also want to thank Coach Jones and his leadership and everyone who served on the committee. Michael was a tremendous part of that as well, and Miss Judy, and then also Matthew, Philip, and Jordan. They answered the questions that I had. They were honest with me about things, and they were really spectacular throughout the whole process. Coach Jones, your leadership has been extremely instrumental, and I think from your experience there's a lot that I can learn from you. And so I look forward to working for you and working with you and count it a real joy. Also want to especially thank my family, my wife, and 3 of my 5 kids here today. 2 of them are not here. One is in college in Orlando. The other one, Jackson, is working so that he can pay to go to college in the fall. And my family, I think, is my greatest blessing, my greatest gift to me. I also want to just take a moment to thank all of the former coaches at Trinity College with regard to the soccer program, going all the way back to Coach Bill Brindley and the founding coach of the program with Coach Jones, and all the work that the previous coaches have done and laying such a solid foundation. That was one of the reasons that I wanted to come to this school, because it has a rich history of winning regional championships and even a national championship, and I think we have an opportunity to build on that in the future. But I'm a lover of history, and I want to respect the past, I want to honor the past, and there certainly have been excellent coaches that have come through here, and my job is to try to build on the success they've already had and make the future even brighter for the current student athletes and then the student athletes who come in the future. As a coach, you wear a lot of different hats, and one of those hats sometimes is you're sort of like a fatherly figure. You've got to discipline the kids sometimes and be a strong disciplinarian. At other times, you're sort of like another soldier, a fellow soldier on the battlefield, competing with them. At other times, you're like a counselor or a mentor. But I think that being a coach at a Christian college, I think the most apt illustration would be that of a pastor. I think there are pastoring qualities that go into coaching young people and reaching into their hearts. And so I'm a simple-minded person. I would basically break my job down to 2 facets. And they both start with the letter D, for those of you that want. The first one is discipleship. To me, that is the most important thing. Who these players are is far more important to me than what they do on the field. And I think that it is my duty and it is my privilege to be able to disciple them in their walk with Christ, to help them to love Christ more, to help them with whatever challenges they have, whether it's on the field or it's off the field. And then the second facet of my job is then the development of the players themselves, player development. As I said a few moments ago, I've had a lot of experience at coaching multiple different levels, different places. For the most part, older high school kids that are just getting ready to go to college. And I think the Lord has prepared me over the past 20-some years for this particular position. I want to give my heart and soul to developing the players. So when we go back and just talk for a moment about the discipleship piece, because to me that is the most important thing, there are 3 pillars that I try to follow in my life. I try for my life to be marked by excellence. I want my life to be marked by exaltation, and I want my life to be marked as being a good example to others. These 3 pillars are things that I want to ingrain in our players. That begins with excellence. Excellence is just the highest standard possible, and trying to reach that, whether it's in training sessions or preparing for games, whether it's off the field, academics, whatever it is, I want all of my players to work with excellence. There's a principle in Colossians 3:23 that says, whatever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord, not unto men. And so just because we're playing sports doesn't mean we aren't to do our best. God wants us to compete. God himself, the Bible says, is a man of war, and he is a fighter. And so hard work cannot be replaced. I want all my student athletes to have a high standard of excellence, even as I try to do that as well. The second pillar is the pillar of exaltation, and this is just the basic principle of worshiping God. Paul told the Corinthians that whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do all to the glory of God. So if eating and drinking is worship in God's mind, then I think coaching and playing soccer is as well. So I want these kids to honor the Lord Jesus Christ by their testimony in the community and on the field, and remember that their job is to exalt Christ above all things. And then the third pillar is example. Obviously, I have to be a good example to these students, but as a kid growing up, I looked to other athletes as sort of, these guys are role models to younger kids. They're role models for the rest of the student body. And I think of Paul's words to the Corinthians again when he told the church, imitate me insofar as I imitate Christ. I understand that my athletes are not going to be what they should be unless I set an example before them. And Paul even said, I subject my body, I discipline my body, lest after preaching Christ I myself will be disqualified. So I think a culture of accountability and responsibility, I need to be held accountable, my players need to be held accountable. These are the sort of intangible qualities that I want to build into the program, and that all has to do with discipleship. And then after that comes the development part, the development of the student athletes. There's a couple of quotes there in the press release. I won't go into detail on that, but I believe in a strong, well-conditioned soccer team that plays organized team defense. I also think that one of the things the modern game is kind of evolving into, and it's kind of going backwards to what the game used to be, is sort of a wide-open, fast style of soccer where you score a lot of goals, you high-press the ball, you get quick goals, you get your athletes into space in 1v1 duels and let them go. So I want my players to be creative on the offensive end. On the defensive end, I want them to listen to what I say. Be organized, be relentless, be fearless. One of the mottos I use with my players is that we fear God, not man. So we don't back down from any opponent. That begins with defense. Defense will create offense and will create a counter-attacking style of soccer that I think if you guys come out and watch us, you'll be excited. You'll see the boys will work hard. You'll see a lot of goals, and I really look forward to that. I also want to develop their soccer IQ or their soccer intelligence. So I have a saying that says that if you think fast as a soccer player, you will play fast as a soccer player. So part of my job is to help these athletes understand the game of soccer, understand exactly what you need to do in certain moments, to have a high soccer IQ. I think that that is critically important because you can have the greatest athletes in the world, but if they don't understand the game, if they have a low soccer IQ, it really limits the sort of success that you can have. So I want to really invest in these young men to help them understand the game of soccer better, to understand that there's no replacement for hard work. Loyalty is very important to me, humility, honesty. It's sort of a cliche, Coach, but it's more important to play for the name on the front than the name on the back. So I'm less concerned about statistics. I'm less concerned about who gets the glory. I want us as a team to be successful. And by the way, I've had the opportunity to meet with the team on a number of different occasions in larger team settings. We've been able to be very candid with each other and honest. They've asked some really good questions. And then I've started the process of having one-on-one meetings, which with each player, I think I'm up to like maybe 4 now. Some of the meetings last longer than others, but that's okay. I'm really enjoying hearing these students' testimonies, hearing what they think they can do on the soccer field, and then asking me, can you help me get better as a soccer player? Maybe even to be able to play at the next level. And I want to be able to do that. So the development piece is very, very important to me, but the discipleship piece is the most important. And I believe that the Bible teaches us that discipleship and human development, even player development when it comes to sports, are thoroughly biblical principles. So we will fight until the end. We will work very hard. I just got the green light that I can start practice. Boys, get ready. I can't wait to see you next week. It's going to be intense, but it's going to be fun, and I really look forward to the privilege of being the next leader of the soccer program here at Trinity. Thank you, everyone who has come today to share this time with me. Thank you, Coach Jones. I give glory to the Lord. Let's go, Eagles. Thank you.
Well, as a former coach myself, when I was the basketball coach here at Trinity, I was always a defensive-minded coach. That was always the heart and soul of my personal philosophy. And so it warms my heart to hear that about yours as well. Paul was #1 in the NCCA defensively for out of that, and because I do believe that defense wins, and so that's great to that, and looking forward to it. I also really enjoyed hearing your perspective, and obviously I was already aware of it during the interview process, but hearing you articulate it so eloquently here, and I put emphasis on that word eloquently. You can tell Coach is a very polished speaker, okay? And it has a lot to do with his other role and his other capacity, pastoring and preaching, but I'm looking forward to hearing him hopefully in chapel next year at some point. Mike, if we can maybe get him on the thing there, that'd be great. Exactly. And so we're looking forward to that. Do we have a score update? I'm getting a hand signal here.
Final score, Trinity 3, Baptist Florida 2.
Congratulations to Trinity College Eagles softball and Coach Blackmer. and that's very exciting. So, but it was great to hear you articulate the role that athletics can play. We believe that athletics is not simply extracurricular. That's sometimes now it's just an extracurricular activity, and I reject that wholeheartedly. I've always viewed athletics in an educational setting as co-curricular. It can be something that is formational and ways towards forming virtue, habits of hard work, all the things that articulated so well, better than I. And so I appreciate you restating that, your process as well. So, we'd like to open it up for a brief Q&A. There might be some people here that have some questions for Coach Smith. And before I do that, though, I wanted to recognize a few other very distinguished guests that were here and members of our faculty. We have several faculty members that blessed us with their presence here today, and so much. I just want to thank each of you for being here. Professor Sherrill's here in the back, and he is probably this year has demonstrated himself probably our most consistent, probably our #1 fan this year among the faculty, coming out regularly to just about every game. We love you, our student athletes appreciate you, seeing your face in the stands so often. Historically, and not taking anything away from Dr. Christmas, but historically, it's him. And he's got 15 years worth of being in those stands all the time. And he's here again today. I already introduced him earlier as a member of our executive team, but he's also a faculty member, a distinguished one. So Dr. Christmas, again, thank you so much for this. And then, last but not least, the Buckners are here. Dr. Buckner and his wife, Carol Buckner, so instrumental in leading criminal justice programs, our counseling, our psychology programs. They do a great job, wonderful personal friends, and also very supportive, so often in the stands supporting our student athletes. So thank you for being here today as well. Do we have any questions? Oh, last but not least, Shelby Downing, our registrar, is in the back. She does all the compliance work for us. She works so hard with all of our coaches, does a great job. We appreciate you as well. So, any questions for Coach Smith? Q&A time. In the back, Professor Sherrill.
What are you looking for in terms of a combination of personal character, academics, and athletic ability?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What are you looking for in terms of a combination of athletic ability, personal character, and academics?
I'm for all three. Yeah, I'm for all three. Obviously, there has to be a priority. So personal character is #1, academics would be #2, and playing soccer would be #3. I obviously agree with what Coach Jones says. I don't view soccer as an extracurricular activity, but there is a tier in the order of importance. And the good thing is that when you're a college student, most of you are not married. I know we have one player who is married, but you have a little bit more free time to work hard at personal character, academics, and playing soccer. So, but there would definitely be a very clear order to that.
Just curious as to what attracted you to the position.
Yeah, good question. This goes all the way back really to when I was the age of these guys, when I was being recruited to play soccer in college. My goal at that point in my life was to be a professional soccer coach or a college soccer coach. And it was alluded to earlier, I had an experience in Brazil where I was playing, and the Lord just sort of turned my life upside down and showed me where my priorities needed to be. And so I used the last couple of years of college to prepare for the ministry, and ended up going and getting a Master of Divinity degree after that, and then going and getting my doctorate, starting a church. I pastored for over 20 years. So the Lord shifted what He wanted me to do primarily with my time. Now, through all those years, I was coaching high-level club, coaching high school, coaching middle school, but I had kind of given up on the dream of coaching in college. And I shared this with Coach Jones. This is probably the only college that I would ever have the opportunity to coach at, principally because I'm a pastor, and I started a church in this community, and that's God's calling on my life. And I feel like my steps in being obedient to Him over the last 20-some years, I don't want to reveal my age too much, but I sort of feel like Moses, like the Lord prepared him in the wilderness for 40 years, and he had no clue what the Lord was going to do. I view this as just God's kind providence that He's given me this opportunity. So when it became available, I looked at the other things I was doing in my life, coaching competitive soccer, coaching high school, and pastoring, and thinking this is the one school, like in the whole country, where I can actually coach college soccer and make a difference and still impact the Jacksonville community. So it's all of the Lord. The Lord was in control of that whole process. Yes, sir.
How about recruiting strategy?
Recruiting strategy is to get the best possible players, number one, that also fit with the philosophy and the overall agenda of this school. We are unique because we are a uniquely Christian school. So that is the first thing. We want Christian kids. They don't have to be the strongest Christians in the world because we want to help minister to kids that might not be the strongest Christians in the world, but we need kids who make a profession of faith in Christ and seek to honor Christ. And the good news is that I know so many high school soccer players in Jacksonville because of my role at Sporting Jacks and Florida Elite before that I actually have several Christian kids that play for me at the club level. And so there are Christians in Jacksonville. Sometimes you just have to look a little bit hard to find them. But I think that because the school has such good sports programs, that it can be a compelling and attractive opportunity for some kids that have really, really good ability, but they want to be part of a Christian school. And so I think that I can tap into that, and I plan to try to use that to our advantage, to get the kids that fit rightly with the school and that also are exceptional soccer players.
Any other questions? All right. One other thing I failed to mention is educational credential. So he does hold a doctorate degree. So he's also Dr. Andrew Smith from Masters and out in California. And so there may instructor, we'll kind of play those out in the future and see where opportunities may open. So in a lot of ways, he's a great fit for our community, and we're just really excited to have him on board. And this is an exciting day for Trinity College soccer, and so I hope you will join me once again with congratulating Coach Andrew Smith. At this time, thank you for your attendance at our event. Congratulations to our women's softball team and to our men's baseball team. If you're watching, go Eagles.